What's up, guys? This is Brett with Brett's Cell Phone Repair. Going to replace the screen on a Galaxy S5. So this one's smashed to the point where you can't see anything. So I'm going to replace it. I got my replacement screen right here. It already comes with the home button on it, so I don't have to transfer that over. So let's get started. Just going to take off the back and take out the battery. There's that. You want to make sure it's not that big a deal, but shut off your phone if you haven't done that. So what we do is we're going to heat this up and start separating it. Just held down by some adhesive, and we're going to use a heat gun to do that. And the only thing we really have to worry about is the buttons on the bottom. You don't want to smash tear them. You don't want to tear the ribbon cables. And then you want to kind of be careful up here of the front-facing camera, the proximity sensor. So you kind of want to, when you get in there, to lift up and kind of have most of the pressure towards the glass, up on the inside of the glass. You don't want to push down and scrape down in there where the phone is. So anyways, that's my 2 cents, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start by heating this up. So I'm just going to get my tool, which is my X-Acto knife, and just dig under there. So again, I'm just trying to break that adhesive, and I'm trying not to put any pressure towards the phone. It's all on the bottom of the glass. Right there, the paint's coming off. So once you start it though, you can use a plastic tool. It's a little more safe so you don't destroy anything. I'm gonna just get this chunk of glass out of the way. So I can just kind of go underneath this and start pushing up. Oh, I was gonna say there's a connection right there where your new screen plugs in, right there. So you want to make sure that's unplugged. I just unplugged it by pushing this plastic piece down, but you can see it came unplugged right there. So just keep on. And then actually what we will do is unplug the home button. It's this plate just held down by some stickiness. Just pop that up. And then you want to unplug this cable. Like that. If you're doing this and you're transferring over the home button, then you want to be careful not to damage the cable. It kind of runs right here. It runs up this way behind the screen and then plugs in, so you don't want to damage that if your screen did not come with a home button. I didn't use really any heat just because I've done it many times, so I can kind of do it without the heat, but down here when I get to the buttons, they're going to be stuck to the glass, so I am going to use heat down here. So I'm going to unstick these buttons from the glass. Sorry if you can't see. I just don't want to break these. So hopefully you can kind of see what I was doing there. See, the buttons are unstuck now. I'm hoping I didn't damage this one. That one didn't want to come off. Okay, and then just go ahead and remove all your old adhesive all along the edges here. Okay, so before we proceed, you can get your old screen, move that out of the way. I'm going to put on the new screen and test it. So I'm just going to put the battery in. And so you just want to plug this in to your motherboard here. What I do is I kind of hold it, tilt it up, and then plug this in. You'll kind of want to move it around a little bit to make sure it's lined up before you start pushing down on it. It just takes a little finesse. Okay, so there we go. I just plug that in right there. So now we're going to turn on, hope for the best. There we go. So that's a good sign. I just want to make sure it recognizes touch. Always make sure to test for the display and then also if it recognizes touch. Okay, good. So I didn't damage that button. It still lights up. Oh, it's doing that thing where it's got, you're not going to be able to see, but I can see it's recognizing touch. So I'm just making sure it recognizes touch everywhere. Just going to test my buttons on the bottom. Okay, that works. That works. So we're good. Alright, so we're good to go. We can go ahead and fully install it now. I'm going to power it off. Okay. So, just going to take out my battery. And then take this screen back off. You'll want to unplug it. So just kind of go underneath your connection and pop it up. It's fairly simple, a lot easier to disconnect than it is to connect. So what I'm going to do is just kind of clean up all this old adhesive, get all that off, and then I'm going to clean it with some rubbing alcohol. Okay, so all that's cleaned up now. I'm going to clean it up with some rubbing alcohol, just so my surface to bond the new screen to is perfectly clean and perfectly perfect. Be careful of your front-facing camera that you don't muck that up with dirt or rubbing alcohol. Try and work around the camera lens. There's a little like plastic gasket around this front-facing camera. Sometimes it just wears. So I'm going to try and scrape that out of the way without getting my camera lens dirty. There we go. Okay, almost done here. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to call that good. I just like to make sure there's no leftover chunks of glass or anything like that before I put it on finally. Okay. One thing I'm gonna do too is kind of clean this glass lens with just a dry Q-tip, just in case I did get a little residue in there. And then of course I get some cotton on there. Alright, so I think we are good. I'm gonna go ahead and take off this backing. This is for the adhesive. Oh boy, it didn't want to come off. So take all that off. And then don't forget to take this part off. This is protective backing here. Okay, so there is all that. You can stick this down if it will stick. Oh, no, it's not going to stick. This is the cable for your home button, and it's the cable to make the fingerprint sensor work. So you want to make sure you slide that through before you stick this down fully. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in first before I stick it down. Okay, so there's my cable for my LCD. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and line up the top, but I'm not going to stick it down fully. I'm going to make sure this cable for the fingerprint sensor is through the groove. It's just kind of bent weird, which makes it kind of weird. Let's try some tweezers. There we go. That worked a little better. Okay, so before I stick this down fully, I want to test it one more time. Make sure the screen is fully plugged in, because once this thing's stuck down, it's stuck down. So that's good. We got that plugged in, and then we got our cable for the fingerprint sensor through. I'm just going to pull that all the way through so it comes through the back there. Right there. So you want to make sure that's in. So make sure the top's lined up. And then you can line up the bottom. Make sure your fingerprint sensor thing's all the way through. And then plug it in. Okay, so that is good. And we can put our little plate back over it and then re-stick that down. Put our cover back on. And we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and mess with the settings to brighten up the screen. Alright, let's see, where is settings? Brightness. There we are, now I can see. Okay. So our back button works, our, what is that, application button works. Power off, our home button works. Screen recognizes touch, so we're good to go. So this fix is good to go. One thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to film it just because I don't want to bore you any more than I have to, is I'm going to take out the battery, and then I'm going to take a heat gun the one that I use to take this off and go around all the edges, and heating this up so that this has a really good seal. So just so it doesn't come back up. And then that'll be that. So this will be good to go. So hopefully that helped, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't dislike or hate, okay? Or I'll come over and smack you in the face. But if you got something from it, make sure to let me know. I like giving back and giving the information needed so that people can kind of do this themselves. So thanks for watching, guys.